Welcome guys to episode 17 of Katawa Shoujo. I am Burning Oil, and we were just invited to the the summer house of the Lily family, which was interesting. They have told me to sleep on the futon, and yeah, Lily's back now, so yay. So we're just going to see what hijinks happen here. But yeah, let's get straight back into it, shall we? Back into it, Eva, shall we? Northern Sojourn. Returning to the living room, I decide to try out the television until they get back. With a touch of the remote, it immediately flickers to life, apparently set to a news channel. More slopping down from exhaustion rather than sitting, I lay back and watch. And watch. And watch. And fall asleep. Okay. Hisao? Oh, I quickly blinked to wake myself up. Lily and Hanako having returned minus their bags. From the Hokkaido night sky visible outside the windows, it looks like I drifted off to sleep. Looking to the wall-mounted clock, it's already 10. You found the television then? Yeah, it really does feel nice and homey here. I'm glad you like it. You were already out like a light when we came back after unpacking our things, so we didn't have the heart to wake you sooner. Judging from her giggle, I must sound funny when I sleep. I swiftly decide not to inquire. There's some dinner waiting for you in the kitchen. Hanako gives a deep yawn, only just remembering to cover her mouth at the last second. My, are you tired? I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm pretty tired too. It was a long walk up here and it's getting late. If that's the case, I suppose we should retire for the night. Good night, Hisao. Good night, Hisao. Good night. Night. With that, they quickly turn and walk back to their bedroom. Rubbing my eyes, I sigh. I wonder if I'll be able to get back to sleep after being woken up. I suppose I'll eat something and watch some more TV quietly before going to bed. Going to bed. We haven't had any of our medicines, did we? Or is it just like a morning afternoon thing? A morning evening thing? Is he still sleeping? I think so. I'm not. I am, however, incredibly tired. It's getting late in the morning. I know that. He likely stayed up to watch television. I could hear it from our bedroom. Only because I couldn't get to sleep. Should we wake him? Don't do that, Hanako, please. No, we should leave him. I doubt he'd want to be woken early if he didn't get much sleep during the night. Thank you, Lily. Besides, he sounds so peaceful. It would be a shame to wake him when he's like this. Oh, keep a straight face, as how. It is nice she cares so much, though. Hanako, could you go to the fridge and fish out what's needed to make lunch? Alright, just the vegetables and rice. That should be enough. We need something simple, as we can eat in town later. Hanako's footsteps on the carpeted floor can be heard, moving away from the living room. As they do, I feel Lily's hand gently rest on my chest. This is so cute. It takes a titanic effort not to react, but something about her makes me think she knows I'm awake. A long silence passes. The only thought in my mind is of that gentle outstretched hand laying upon my chest. After an indiscernible amount of time, Lily withdraws her hand. Good morning, Hisao. God, she's so freaking adorable! Conceding defeat all too easily, I prop myself up and rub my eyes. How'd you know? Your breathing was off. Well, that makes sense. She couldn't have needed that long to work it out. Knowing her hearing, she likely knew before laying her hand on me. If you want to sleep more, you should really go to bed earlier. I heard the television going long into the night. Sorry about that. My medications have been interfering with my sleep for a while now. Even if I'm tired, I have trouble actually sleeping. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Yes, Hisao. I was going to say yes, well. I sigh. This is like the kind of thing I wish others wouldn't do. Address it, wave her off. It's fine. Like, it's not her fault. Hanako could probably use some help. Lucy seems about to protest for a moment, but eventually acquiesces, nodding before leaving for the kitchen. For a while I sit and watch television in an attempt to wake myself a little more, but it's futile. I don't have anything to do, so I follow Lily's lead. As I round the corner, I see Hanako and Lily, backs turned, quietly cutting food on the granite-coloured counter. I am temporarily engrossed as I watch Lily guiding the knife down carefully with a finger on the cabbage she's cutting. My cabbages! Each slice delivered slowly but with precision. She seems a little slow, but considering that she can't see what she's doing, it's a small wonder she can cook at all, let alone for both her and Hanako. Hi, Hanako. Lily, want any help? Is that... Oh, morning, Hisao. Lily jerks back in surprise before turning around, her yelp immediately drawing Hanako and me to her side. Oh shit, she cut herself. What's... A small trickle of scarlet falls downward from her pale fingertip, the knife cutting just deep enough to draw blood. With the television sound masking my footsteps, she must not have heard me coming. To compensate for having to use touch to guide everything she does during cooking, she must need to pay extra attention. Lily! Don't worry, Hanako. It's just a small wound. You should still get a band-aid on it, at least until it stops bleeding. First aid stuff would be in the bathroom, right? I think so. Will you be okay, Hanako? I frown at how little heed she's paying to herself as Hanako gives a quick, almost automatic nod. It's fine. I can keep making lunch. An awkward silence reigns as I set the bottle of antiseptic and a box of band-aids on the side of the sink. Lily's finger held out for me to treat. Look at this bathroom! Oh my goodness! It's amazing! The lid of the bottle comes off with a minimum of resistance and a small ball of cotton. I soak in the liquid stains of pale green. Okay, hold still. This will probably hurt a bit. She gives a small nod as I take hold of her hand to steady it. With the tenderness I can muster, I gently bring the tamponed wad to the small red line. Wad is such a weird word. What? I've barely touched it. Sorry. I give a sigh, both at her reaction and to settle my own nerves. Her pain tolerance is startlingly... Oh my god, it's where they put lings in. Oh no, the lings have it. Startlingly low. I did it. I would tell you to man up, but I can't really do that. I don't like this tone. As she gives a small giggle, I take advantage of her momentary distraction and gently press the cotton against her finger a few times. Thankfully, it's enough to do the job. We both settle somewhat as I bring the band-aid over the tip of her finger, covering the wound while making sure not to get it stuck to her fingernail. There. Finished. We can move now. You can move now. Taking a hand from mine, she gently clasps it in the other. Thank you. It's no problem. It's the least I can do after causing you to hurt yourself, after all. She lowers her head slightly at the apology, absent-mindedly rubbing her hand in what seems to be embarrassment. I really don't mind. Her answer doesn't seem to make much sense, given that what happened is pretty clearly my fault. I can't help grimacing at her, despite the fact that her dainty smile still holds. She must not like being reminded of the limitations her lack of sight imposes on her. It's not your fault, Hitao. Still don't know his name. Hisao, it's something I can't possibly fault her for. I have fallen prey to the same kind of feelings before, despite my condition not being nearly as ubiquitous in my life. Neither of us any the happier. We head back to the various smells of cooking food coming from the kitchen. I lay out the plates of food, steam slowly rising from the well-cooked rice and curry dishes, while Hanako lays out the cutlery. Knife one side, fork on the other, Western. How perfectly fitting for someone like Lily. As we take our seats, I said that like sarcastic, I didn't mean that. Taking careful heed of the dark red tablecloth hanging below our knees, Lily emerges from the kitchen. In her hands are 3 glasses and a bottle of wine. And a bottle of wine? Sorry? As I recall our previous run-in with that devilish elixir, I hide my face in my palm. Alcohol? Seriously? She pauses as she reaches the table, a playful grin perched on her face. Akira specifically gave permission to take a bottle from her collection. Not only does she give alcohol to minors, she even lets them pilfer their own. The perfect model of a responsible adult Akira is not. More to the point, though, is that this is hardly a meal deserving of alcohol. I'm starting to think Lily's the type to easily become hooked on things. That's not really the problem. I don't really have any qualms with it, but didn't you have a bad experience with it last time? Last time was likely due to drinking too much, so a single glass shouldn't prove a problem. Think of it as a learning experience. I can't recall many learning experiences that made me feel rotten before putting me to sleep, but I'll take your word for it. Really, I felt pretty good. She dips an uninjured finger inside to feel the liquid level tip against the bottom as the liquid rises up. I don't understand that sentence. The white of her finger almost seems to glow as the sunlight hits it, the delicate outline blurred and refracted by the glass. Her fingers are definitely longer than mine, the kind I'd think more suited to a pianist than a teacher. She'd likely have done well if she learned how to play. We quickly dig into our meals, forks and knives clattering against plates. None of us are particularly eager to speak while eating. Lily altogether too reserved for such a thing. Hanako probably too shy to start conversation, and I too busy savouring the food. Such a pedestrian activity, eating together at a table. It seems so utterly normal, yet it makes me realise how long it's been since I've done something like this. Just the three of us sitting around a single table eating as if we were a malformed family. Maybe this trip, as far away from everything as we are, was worth it. It takes quite a long time, but eventually we all finish our surprisingly filling meal. The wine thankfully has little effect given we've only had a glass or two each. I slump back into the seat, rubbing my stomach contentedly. I'm stuffed. Lily pats her mouth with a napkin. Twice, only twice, and with evenly timed intervals in between. It's hard to tell sometimes whether how she acts is a well-trained routine or a well-rehearsed act. I think I must be as well. Did you like it, Hanako? It was nice. Now that we're all fed, shall we? Now we're all fed. Shall we be off? Off? Where? You weren't privy to the discussion between Hanako and me earlier. I get the impression that she's having a subtle dig at my sleeping in. We'll be going into town nearby. I guess I should have expected two girls to take a holiday as an excuse to go shopping. Sexist, even, not racist. No matter where on the planet they may be. I'm interested to see more about the North, though, so this can only be a good thing. Sounds good. How long's the walk in, then? It's supposed to be around a mile. Oh, it's supposed to be around a mile to a mile and a half. Nearby, huh? Great. Just great. That's a long walk, man. As we climb up the path surrounded by trees and undergrowth, I watch Lily and Hanako walking ahead. The slight breeze all but whisks away the sound of Lily's cane gently tapping on the ground. I notice that Lily's since removed the band-aid now that the bleeding of her finger has stopped. A deep lung-filled breath of the fresh country air makes me wish all the harder that the air around home had been quite so clean. It can't have even been a mile, but I'm already working up a sweat. It isn't a pleasantly cool day, though. So I shouldn't be too hard on myself for it. Hey Lily, how well do you know this town, anyway? Since I spent quite a few of my vacations here until I entered Yamaku, I'd say I know it fairly well. We used to drive here once a weekend then. How I wish Akira was here to drive us now. I quickly take a moment to rub my hands a couple of times, staving off the oddly cold feeling in them. Did you like it up here? I'd say it was nice during winter, but as you can work out, summers get a little too hot for comfort. It's nice and quiet, at least. My family's real house is quite far south. When they left Japan, my parents gave it to Akira and me. Only Akira lives there now, after my moving into Yamaku. Well, quite certainly describes this place. Though lonely is how I'd put it. Other than the prophesied small town, there isn't another soul for miles around. Coming from a home nestled deep within the big city is certainly different. I think that if I'd not come to Yamaku, staying out of the country like this would be too much of a change to get used to. After getting accustomed to the school's isolation, though, the idea of living in a place such as this has become almost inviting. To be somewhere away from the hustle and bustle of the metropolitan centres. So, Hisao, have you been to Hokkaido before? Nah, I used to live down south, and we've never had field trips or holidays up this far. James, read sentences. Well, it's a new experience for you then. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised at how nice it feels here. How about you, Hanako? She shakes her head from side to side. It's my first time too. As we continue walking, I begin to feel pins and needles in my legs. It's a little disturbing, given there's no reason for it to be happening. Could you two hold on a moment? I just need to... Is anything wrong? Nah, I've just got pins and needles in... Fuck. My vocal cords suddenly become taut as my chest tightens instantaneously. I quickly pull my upper arm over it, trying to quell the shot of pain spreading throughout my entire body. Hisao? Lily's face is only mildly concerned, not knowing the sight which Hanako's recalling from. I'm fine, just tired. I remove my arm from my chest and force myself to begin walking again. It's just a minor heart flutter, so it'll pass like the others. It only takes a couple of steps before my body violently revolts against me, my legs suddenly beginning to give way underneath me, and all the tension in my knees seeming to evaporate. Before I can react, they uselessly give away under my weight, leaving me only just enough time to brace myself and fall onto all fours. Damn. As I look up to her, I realise my face is still taut with pain, only adding that much more to her worrying. Hisao, Hanako, tell me what's going on. Hanako, tell me! Hanako quickly moves to my side as Lily almost panics, having little clue as to what exactly how bad a condition I'm in. While she stands there petrified, I lower my face and take a deep breath. I come to a realization that makes me endlessly irritated with my stupid self. With all the excitement of my new surroundings, I'd entirely neglected to take my medication last night or even this morning. We haven't had any of our medicines, did we? Or is it just like a morning and afternoon thing? A morning, evening thing? I knew it. Shit. Taking another breath, the acute pain in my chest begins to die down as quickly as it had arrived. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. As it does, I become acutely aware of the sweat by now pouring off my face and the two scared girls around me. Hisao! I'm fine, Lily. I'm fine. I screw up my brow in an effort to lever myself up, Hanako's arms quickly moving to catch me if I fall as I stumble a bit before regaining my balance. I look to Lily and Hanako, worry written on both their faces. I feel awful. Utterly awful. I think we should go back. Realizing the futility of protesting, I look away in frustration. Fine. God, that was intense. I open my eyes groggily, completely bereft of energy. For a while I simply lie down lifelessly, staring at the ceiling as I review the events of the morning in an attempt to organise my thoughts. We went to walk to town. My heart nearly gave way. We came back. I took my pills. I slept. I can only remember each period of time as a snapshot, but the timeline is clear enough. The memory of the girls' faces as I struggled to stand is an unpleasant one, stinging my feelings harshly. If I look at the ceiling hard enough, I can imagine the tile edges and small dimples of the ceiling in the hospital. That fact alone is enough to make me sit up and try to pull myself together. I scratch the back of my dishevelled hair, glancing around the room. Lily and Hanako I know are to be seen and the television's turned off. The clock above it says it's pretty late in the afternoon. The noticeably reddened sky outside the window confirms it further. I turn and pick myself off the futon, swaying lightly as I put my arms out for the balance. I notice I'd better go look for the girls to see if they are all right. I look out the window. I faintly see something in the distance. Straining my eyes, I can just make out the shape of a person's figure. Her long blonde hair, swaying in the faint breeze, makes her almost seem to melt into the bright yellow of the wheat fields. Without second thought, I leave the room to follow that lone apparition. Is he dreaming? The brightness of the setting sun assaults my freshly woken eyes, forcing me to avert them until they adjust. The long yellow strands of wheat brush against my legs as I wade through them, the densely grown field making it hard to advance. Regardless, my eyes stay fixed ahead, true to that solitary figure. Within minutes, I reach her, meters behind her back. Lily? She simply nods. Where's Hanako? She's in bed. She went to sleep after I calmed her down. She says it matter-of-factly and with as few words as possible, as if saying any more was strictly forbidden. There's something different about her. Her normally confident figure seems oddly fragile, her body offering no resistance to the breeze blowing her skirt. This is definitely a dream. The strands of wheat sway from side to side while a deafening pause passes, the only sound being their rustling. As we stand in the field alone, I know why I have to ask. What's wrong, Lily? You're not acting like you usually do. Remember when I talked of my family, Hisao? Your family? I look downwards in thought, sifting through my scattered memories. The event seems to leap ready to hand when I search for it, rising to the surface as soon as it was recalled. After Haneko's birthday party, she gives a simple nod. It was nice back then, you and I, celebrating with Hanako, simply sharing presents, talking, having fun together. It was almost as if we were a family, one small, misshapen family. I thought that could just go on forever, just the three of us, happily together. She takes a long breath, a slight shakiness to it, just barely audible through the moving air. Even if my family was so far away, as long as we were together, that was all I needed. I don't want to lose you, Hisao. I didn't even realize how afraid I was of losing someone else until today. I'm sorry, Lily. I know my body's weak, but even then I make the most stupid mistakes. Don't apologize, please. Don't apologize. Lily? She turns to me, her pale cheeks stained with tears. One misguided step after another, she stumbles towards me, her arms held out in search of so much as a faint brush against me. Oh my god, no. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is good too. This is really good too. Sorry. My heart doesn't race nor pound as I step towards Lily, gently taking and steadying her in my arms as she quickly clutches to me, sobbing. With her face trembling against my shoulder, the next words from her mouth are the least I expected. This is not real. It can't be, man. I love you, Hisao. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't go away, I beg of you. Never go away, I love you, so please. So, that's why she's been acting like this. That tender voice when I called her, her thoughtless concern at the slightest pain I might feel. Look at his shirt, oh my god. Sorry, I just looked at that shirt. After having been left in Japan without her family, and with only Akira, Hanako, and me around, she was afraid of losing yet another person who was close to her. She was genuinely worried for me. Is this real? It's a strange feeling, a mix of surprise and sorrow, yet also of the deepest gratitude I think I've ever felt. The only reaction I can muster among my conflicting emotions is a calm sigh. You idiot. Hisao? For a fleeting moment I feel her body become still. The only movement to be felt is the calm afternoon breeze. I said it before, didn't I? It's only natural to feel concerned about those around you. I'm still here, and I'll always be here, because I want to see you more each day, to share your happiness, to support you in your sadness. But most of all, I'll still be here because I want to see your smile, your true smile. A single gust of wind rustles the long strands of wheat. A second's silence passes. Smile when you want to smile, cry when you want to cry. I love you, Lily, so you don't have to hold back anymore. With that, her arms clutch my back as tightly as she can, her face buried beside mine. Her tears fall down my back and she cries unrestrainedly as the last of her resistance melts away. Oh god, I don't know how... Hisao! I close my eyes and bring my head down to her shoulders, holding her shaking frame tightly. It's okay, Lily. I'll never go away. I promise. We slowly walk back to the house, holding each other tightly as we take a seat inside. Lily leans her head onto my shoulder as I put my arm around her waist. That can't have been real, man. It's just so out of... Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the pessimistic side of me is getting the better of me, maybe. Neither of us has anyone to break the silence. With her eyes shut, it's hard to work out whether she's fallen asleep. Not that I mind, the warmth of her body leaning against me, the softness of her hand delicately held in mine. For a long, long time, we sit leaning against one another, sharing our warmth and feelings as night eventually begins to settle in. Lily's gentle, soft voice enters silence. Thank you, Hisao. Thank you? For returning my feelings. Did you think I wouldn't? There was the possibility. I take a deep breath in thought. That much was only my fault. It's funny, actually. I was thinking of telling you about my feelings sometime soon. He was. I guess, in that way, you saved me the effort. She raises her head a little and gives a tiny, amused giggle. I smile at how earnest it is, so girlish in its lightness. She collects herself soon afterward, her hair resting against my shoulder. Feeling a bit better? She gives a small nod. You are thoughtful, Hisao. That's why I like you. I'm sorry I'm like this. As much as I didn't want to make you concerned for me, I couldn't do anything to prevent it. Don't apologize for it. Please don't. Lily? Have I ever apologized for my blindness even once? You can't help the way you were born, Hisao. There's no point in apologizing for who you are. Why's that got me? Oh. Ugh. She says this with surprise and conviction. In the end, it was perhaps this mentality which spurred her to befriend me in such a short time, in addition to her motherly instincts. She didn't seem to become trusting very quickly, but I'd never understood why. Now it seems obvious that she did so to help me as I went through one of the lowest points of my life. I moved to respond, but cut myself off as I feel her fingers gently running through my hair. I feel their soft and delicate touch moving downwards to trace the contours of my face, her palm finally settling on my cheek. You are a beautiful person, Hisao. Please don't ever apologize for that. For a moment, I'm utterly speechless. I slowly bend my head down, placing a tender kiss on her light, voluminous hair. We're a couple of right old fools, aren't we? We are. After a long calm, she speaks again. Hisao. Yes? I wouldn't mind if you... I feel her hand tensing under mine, trembling slightly. My mouth opens, but try it as I might, I can't formulate a response to her proposition. Lily? Before I can say another word, she slips her hand from under mine and tenderly holds the side of my face once more. Please. I give her a peaceful smile, holding a hand against my cheek as I nod a single time. Okay. Is this a kiss? As I look into her eyes, she leans towards me. Her delicate lips touch mine as she guides herself with her hand. She breaks off not a second later, faintly smiling. I love you, Hisao. We kiss again, this time with both of us meeting the other. While the previous kiss was one of love, this is one of lust, our tongues meeting and our breathing heavy. After precious seconds we part, both our faces well and truly flushed. Both of us bring our fingers to our lips in unison, recalling that fleeting feeling, rapidly becoming buried both by our urges and bashfulness. Lily is the first to shift uncomfortably, though. What is it? Should we get more comfortable? Oh, okay. Now that she mentions it, this futon would be a bit too now to do much on, considering the thoughts running through both of our minds. It's no small wonder of us had any measure of foresight left. Oh god. I take her hands and guide her sideways as I move, the brief and awkward dance ending with both of us tentatively settling on the floor opposite each other. We've all been through it, dude. We've all been through this. As I reach forward to pull her top up, she stops after she moves her hands to do the same. You're shaking. I pause for a moment and look at my hands. Sure enough, they're quivering slightly. Whether it's from nervousness or excitement, I'm not sure. I guess I am. So you're as nervous as I am, then? I'll withdraw my hands and sigh, steadying myself. We have plenty of time, so there's no need to rush this. Sorry, it's my first time, so I'm a bit... She giggles shakily, all but confirming what I reasonably deduced by now. It's the same for me. I'm happy. We could share this together. I match her smile twofold, leaning forward and taking her body in my arms as she reaches to hug me back. I love you, Lily. You already said that. I can't help grinning. Even in such a situation, still has her wits about her. Breaking our embrace, we decide to take off our own clothing. While it's easier this way, I don't doubt it's just an attempt to distract ourselves from our nerves. With slightly stiff hands, I begin to slide the first button out from my shirt. Once we remove the last of our clothes, which end up haphazardly piled behind us, my breath is taken by the sight in front of me. Oh my god! I'm gonna have to censor this shit. Anyway, her long shapely legs, full hips, and her breasts, plump but dainty, her slightly blushing face, delicate and reserved, is framed by the bangs of her hair. Her hands, tightly held behind her, only serve to further accentuate her chest. Her tall and pale body is beautiful when bared. This girl in front of me, reserved yet playful, astute yet hospitable, is the girl I've fallen in love with. I lean forward, delicately taking her shoulders in my hands. Close-up nipples. As I do, she brings her hands to my chest. With a slightly uneven breath, we lean into a deep kiss. I feel one of Lily's hands slowly slide up to my shoulder. It and her hand very gently moving forwards. Assuming her intent, I lean back onto the floor. Oh, that's cute. She lowers herself beside me, one hand stroking my hand as the other moves. God, I have to be very careful with the sensor right there. She lowers herself beside me, one hand stroking my hair as the other moves across my chest. The feeling of her breast against it is enough to excite me. God, am I gonna get thingied for this? I don't know if it's gonna get... Please don't report me, guys. This must be her way of taking in what I've already seen of her. Despite her lack of sight, she engraves every detail of my bare body and chest into her mind. When her middle finger falls into the slight recess of my chest scar, a lingering effect of my operation so many months ago, she slowly runs her hand down its length. This is the scar from my surgery. They had to do this in order to operate on my heart. For a moment she's lost for words, the idea of such extensive scarring adding a new worry for her. Her expression changes from curiosity to apprehension. Should we really be doing this kind of thing? Those words bother me beyond what is rational. Lily's face breaks my heart more than even her words could possibly could. Yet I don't even know the answer to her question. I can't let this condition dominate me forever. It may not even be medically advisable, but I outright refuse to live my life in such a prison. It's okay, Lily. This much will be okay. Her troubled expression holds for a moment longer, but she eventually acquiesces, her hand moving to my lower chest and then my thigh. With a look of slight surprise, she slowly moves her hands downwards, her breath catching as she brushes the side of my lower hair. But we're gonna leave it there, boys and girls. It's been 30 minutes. Oh my goodness, I can't show this. I can't show this on YouTube, and there might be some bleeps I might have to put in as well. I don't know. We'll see, because I might have to re-upload it. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I can say breasts and stuff. Yeah, I can say that. I say fuck all the time. Jesus, fuck. Anyway, thank you very, very much, everybody, for watching. This has been a very enlightening. I thought we were having a dream. Hanako's gonna walk in on us. She's gonna break all this wide open, literally. Or maybe she'll join. Oh God. Anyway, anyway. Thank you everyone for joining me today. If you have any positive or negative comments to make, please let me know so I can improve my videos. And yeah, if you can help this channel by liking and sharing all the videos, it helps me a lot. Like, expand the channel and expand the videos so other people can watch them as well, and makes me want to make more. If you have any recommendations for other visual novels, right, that visual novels, also games that are similar to that are similar to this, unlike Doki Doki, etc., please let me know. And yeah, I'll see you for episode 18, guys, tomorrow. I've been Owl. I've been Sexy Owl. Sal, look at him, he's sexy as fuck. I've been Sexy Owl now. Bye-bye.